Hello people of the verse and welcome to the channel. It's the Eradicator, and in this video we will be talking about the space whale, especially those that are going to be found on Crusader, in the clouds of Crusader, and these look actually much more different than what I was personally anticipating, so that's what we'll be talking about in this video. Before we do that, guys, let's remember that this month I've got a giveaway, as I am giving away a Taurus. All you have to do is to subscribe to this channel and answer the giveaway question that I will make sure not to forget, right? Sometimes I forget, so I know it's a bit annoying, right? Also on the Discord, I have a couple of gift cards as well, thanks to Dragon Ghost. All you have to do if you want to have access to my Discord is to be a patron or a join button member. Speaking of that, shout out to San Jack Daniels for being my latest join button member. Guys, let's talk about those space whales, or those Crusader whales, the storm whales as we call them here. And we had some very interesting concept art from the latest episode of Inside Star Citizen, which is going to give some ideas about the direction that they're going to with those whales. And quite frankly, this is really not what I was expecting before. I thought that these whales would maybe be some big target practice that we would have in the skies of Crusader, and we'll just enjoy shooting them and eventually see them fall down, or eventually collect some of their some parts of their remains before they would eventually go deep into the atmosphere. But this is really not how it seems like it's going to be. And I was really shocked to see that on those concept pages, and very often the artists are the artistic views that we see from the future of Star Citizen is actually a representation of the vision that Chris Roberts wants for the game. So that's why they're always trying to stick as closely as possible from these concept arts that we're seeing every now and then. For example, when you look at the old concept arts of Crusader and you look at how it is now, that's exactly what they drew many years ago, right? And what we're looking at here, when we're looking at those concept arts from future gameplay here on those whales, is what I believe we should also be expecting in the future when these will come. We obviously don't know when, right? But they're working on them right now, but of course it's still unknown. And I was thinking that these maybe would be the first creatures that we'll get to see, and I think that this is going to be the case, but maybe not for the reason that we were thinking of. Originally I thought that these would maybe be the gold standard, so to speak, to for the creature that we're gonna have in the future, like the Space Yeti on Macrotech, or the Pyro Crab, or the Space Cow from Terra. But I think that those space whales are going to be something completely different, more like a mix of a ship and a mini planet at the same time, because what it really looks like is that those space whales are going to have their own fauna, and they're going to be so big that it's going to be possible to land on them, a bit like, for example, how flies land on a buffalo, you know, or some birds land on a buffalo, and it barely annoys those big creatures. And that's exactly how it seems like it's going to be with those big space whales here. It seems like players are going to be able to land their ships and walk on these big space whales, but it's not really going to be effective. They're not really going to be bothered. You're just going to be some pesky flies or little pests on them. And since it seems that they're going to have their own fauna, or flora at least, maybe fauna, we don't know, but at least their own flora, it does look like it's going to be possible to collect some collectibles, at least maybe scan them to look for some unique resources that would grow on them, and collect resources. You can see here the concept that this player has a backpack, which is probably something very useful here when you are on one of those space whales here, because you do want to be collecting some of those valuables that could only be found on one of those space whales, and hopefully then we'll be able to be selling those rare commodities around the verse. Maybe some players, I can totally imagine some players just stacking them and then trading them all over the verse, making millions and millions of alpha UEC. This could perhaps be a thing, a future business. Maybe players fighting all over the planet Crusader just to have access to some of those whales that are floating around space. There is, if this is the direction that they're going to with those space whales, I think that there is indeed going to be a lot of potential emergent gameplay and a lot of opportunities for players. And what I'm looking at here really keeps me very excited. I really hope that this is the direction that we are going to, guys. So yeah, space whales being so huge that we're just going to be pesky flies or, pests, fleas walking on them. I really like that idea a lot, and I also think that it's going to be a good way to humble ourselves, because we humans like to think that we are the masters of the world, right, the masters of the universe, but being on such an enormous being, and basically for those beings just being nothing, being meaningless because of how small and tiny we are, I think that's going to be a very interesting feeling that we're going to get to experience in Star Citizen. But let me know in the comment section down below, guys, after what we've seen in the latest episode of Inside Star Citizen, what are your thoughts on space whales? Are you hyped? I was not really hyped about them, but with what we've seen here, I would say that my interest has been aroused. But what about you guys? Let me know in the comment section down below. That is, of course, the giveaway question, a quite open giveaway question, I would say. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow for more content on the channel. There's the Xenothreat event happening right now. I hope I'll be able to join and report on that. A big shout out to Tala, Dr. Forbin, and Eric On for their contribution on Patreon. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. This video is brought to you by the people who support this channel on Patreon and via the join button as well. Supporters of the channel get access to lots of cool perks, such as access to my private Discord, your question answered in the show, you get to know when I'm going to play, and also you get to have a chance to influence the editorial line of the channel. Any help is appreciated, starts at just $1 a month. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Eradicator, and I'll see you guys later.